Did you inherit $1 million from your grandparent, or are you about to become wealthy from someone else's hard work? If you say yes to these questions, this show is not for you. You, the hardworking, committed, and ambitious professional who have a 9-to-5 corporate job or a 12-hour shift worker keeping the assembly line running. Perhaps you run your gig as a freelancer, or maybe you run a small business. You are in the right place. Welcome to the Career Evangelist Podcast, where you get your weekly tips, ideas, strategies, and inspiration to find purpose in what you do so you can build a career you are passionate about and live a fulfilled life. Here is your host, Bola Alabi.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Career Evangelist Podcast. I'm your host, Bola Alabi. Guys, it's already the second week of the year 2024. Last week, I shared with you guys how to crush your goals in 2024. I basically went through the SMART framework. I spoke about what you need in order to conquer, in order to win with your goals in 2024. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to that episode number 205 of the Career Evangelist Podcast, I encourage you to go back and take a listen, because I know that you will find it really beneficial. So today, I will quickly just share with you how to get your remote job in 2024. Yeah, 2024, it's all about landing your remote job opportunity. That's to those that are looking for remote job opportunities. Last year, I wrote a book that I titled The Remote Job Seekers Toolkit. I shared a comprehensive approach and guide to help you secure your work from home opportunity in that book. So I know right now there are still millions of people that are looking for remote job opportunity because of the flexibility that this type of job brings. So I know many of you are going to find this really beneficial. And I'm quickly just going to go over what I shared in that ebook. And if you are looking to get the ebook, I'm going to leave a link in my show notes so that you can access the book. In the book, I covered everything from finding the ideal remote job to preparing for your interview and to be able to thrive while working remotely. So this book, I took my time to do my research, and based on my own experience, I share what you can do in order to find this remote job opportunity or remote job option, a really fantastic one for you. Before we talk about how to land your remote job in this new year, I think it makes sense to quickly talk about why remote job work is becoming more popular. The other time I spoke about the flexibility, because people can just pretty much stay in their home and get everything done. Apart from that, I've also realized that there are also a lot of job growth opportunities for people that work remotely. I also know that people that work remotely, they get to spend less time, commuting to their job. So it's really a great option if you are looking to do so in this new year. The first thing that I also wrote about in this book is this simple question. Yes, I said many people are looking for remote work option, but you have to think about it. and ask yourself this question. Is remote work right for you? Yes, remote work is not meant for everyone. If you cannot control your time, for example, maybe you shouldn't even think about working remotely because really you need to be able to compartmentalize. You need to be able to, you know, differentiate and distinguish your personal time from your work time. And what I mean by that is that if you cannot control your schedule, there's really a high chance that you may overwork sometimes because you may not know, oh, yeah, it's time for me to close. Because if you don't get everything that you need to get done, if you don't get them done, you may need to, stretch and extend your work time, and these may encroach on your personal time. So if you are that type that is not disciplined enough to control your time, remote job may not be the right option for you. So that's something that I really want you to know. The other big one is the challenges of isolation. Think about it. If you go to your office or your work location physically, there's a high chance that there are other people in the same building or facility working alongside you. But now, if you work remotely, the best you could do is to maybe join Zoom video or Teams video and see your other colleagues. Otherwise, for the most part, whenever you get on a call, it's going to be audio call only. So you may not get to see people that often if you work remotely. So that's a challenge for some people. The other big challenge that I've seen that people that work remotely complain a lot about is the stress and burnout, and I spoke about it earlier on, and that's the difficulty of differentiating between your personal and your work time, and that can lead to a lot of stress and burnout for you. But hey, in that my book, I spoke or I wrote about how you can overcome those challenges. So, chapter one is mostly about asking that question, is remote job right for you? Now, let's say you've established that you can work successfully as a remote worker. Then you also, and this was what I focused on in chapters two, you need to develop the right mindset to position you for success. And what do I mean by that? I want you to know that your mind is a powerful tool. How you use it and what you use it for can impact your long-term success. So, how should you calibrate your mind as a remote worker? I went through what everything that you need to do in order to have the right mindset that will ensure that you are successful as a remote worker. For example, how do you advocate for yourself? Yeah, because see, your manager is not, or he or she is not sitting directly with you daily to know what you are doing. But that doesn't mean that you cannot promote your job. You cannot promote what you are doing. You cannot showcase what you are doing because if you fail to do so, you may not get all the right opportunity, for growth. So one of the most important things that you need as a remote worker is to have that growth mindset. This is one thing that I learned in my career. So if you've been working, doing the same thing for more than 2, 3, maybe 3, 4 years, should you consider the next step for you? I wrote about that in this book, how to have that growth mindset. For most people, as long as you are getting your annual pay raise, they may just say, okay, that's all right for me. But for me, I love people to grow. I encourage people to grow. So growth is part of the mindset that you must have as a remote worker. And I wrote about 3 C's that will help you to develop and maintain a growth mindset in this book. I wrote about how to take on challenges. I wrote about how to improve your competencies, what you can do to gain more skills, what you can do to grow in your career. And I also wrote about how to build confidence even while working remotely. So this is very important. You should definitely check this book out. One other great thing that I added to the book are the what I call the 14 best practices for setting up your home office. Yes, this is crucial. Yes, at home you have maybe your pet walking alongside you, but let's say you are in a meeting and your dog is barking, that can be highly distracting. So, what should you do to have the best home setup that will help you to thrive while working remotely? Check out my book, The Remote Job Seeker Toolkit. Oh, wow. I wrote about time management. Oh, that is crucial for success. You need to know how to time block your calendar so that you focused on your priorities for each day. You got to check this book so you can learn how to do that effectively. And the other thing that I did, and this was in chapter 3 of the book, I wrote about the tools that you need to perform your work effectively, productively while working remotely. Now, the tool while working at home, there's one. And there's also the tool that you need to land the job. I wrote about your resume, your cover letter, and your online profile, especially your LinkedIn page. I wrote about the best practices for building or developing a resume that will land you your dream job. What are the must have in your resume? How can you tailor your resume to the job you are looking for? And on your LinkedIn profile, how to write a compelling professional summary, everything that you need to help you land your remote job option, remote job opportunity. I wrote in that in this ebook, so you got to check it out. And in chapter 4, I went further to share how you can find a remote job opportunity. There are tons of websites out there, but which ones are the authentic one? And I also wrote about the types of job that can be done remotely. For example, maybe you are a project manager. That job can be done remotely. Software engineer, sales manager, product manager. These kind of jobs can be pretty much 100% done from the comfort of your home. I also share how you can research companies that offer remote jobs and how you can position yourself so that you can be in their radar and land your next job opportunities. Some great companies that are offering 100% remote job includes Google, Salesforce, Shopify, Airbnb, and many, many more. And where should you go in order to find your remote jobs? LinkedIn.com, flexjobs.com, remoteok.com, remotive.com, and so many more. So this was a detailed research job that I did while putting this book together. And finally, chapter 5, I wrote about how to master the art of remote job interview. So you are going to get these remotes. You've been invited, right, for a job interview, a job that you are going to be doing remotely. How can you position yourself as the number one candidate so that the hiring manager will say, hey, this is the guy for us or girl for us. So I wrote about what you need to do in order to win their heart and mind. I also had some commonly asked interview questions, especially focusing on remote jobs, and some tips and tricks for you to answer those questions. I provided some guidelines for you. Finally, again, there are tons of opportunities out there, especially for people that want to work remotely. One big thing that I always encourage people to know is the importance of networking. Networking and building relationship goes a long way to help you to land your next role. So talk to people, build a community of strong network of people around you. Let them know what you are looking for and be open, hear them out so that you can easily land your next role. So if you are ready to embrace a flexible work lifestyle and seize remote job opportunity, you should look in my show notes or head on to my website, thecareerevangelist.com. You'll see the book, The Remote Job Seekers Toolkit. You can access it. It's $1.99. And you can start finding out how you can land your next role. I hope you found this episode beneficial. Till next time again, this is Bola Halabi, the career evangelist himself, signing out. And I wish you guys all the best in 2024.